So, having problems with the event, aren't we? Hello, I am Purple Phoenix. I am a veteran player and today I am going to explain how to beat Feast of Pursuit Day 4, featuring the Secret Source Automaton configuration. Now, you might already realized, but this guy is very hard to beat. Not only because it has a tanky son of a perpetual mechanical array, but on top of it, it has 60% resistance to physical and all kind of elemental damage. Yes, that's right, this guy has the worst combination possible in this game. But, as chunky as it is, at some point these resistances lowers to -30%, but there is a catch. In order to get him to its most vulnerable, you have to pop some cores that are over 2 pillars of solidified phlogiston. You cannot climb over, nor can you snipe them with your archers, because they have a no-snipping policy I suppose. And you really cannot skip that, because, if you do, you gonna be blasted to the plane of euthymia with that electroblast. Well, you could theoretically tank it with Zhongli, but I don't recommend that, since we cannot afford to lose damage here. And yes, stunning it takes a good chunk of its HP, so don't you dare. You may think catching it is mandatory, but if you are a sloppy player and you don't count seconds like me, you might find yourself in trouble, because you either used her skill too soon before it enters that phase, you got out of the vehicle by accident and lost your marbles, or you got her aim wrong and her night soul meter is no more. Awesome. Then you might say, huh, catching I have Zillinen, you dimwit. Good for you. But let's say you, like me, don't have the Catwoman in your rooster. What then? Does it mean that you have to stuck in desperate like a pleb and renounce to those 4 artifact exp? No. You see, those pillars aren't actually that high. So you can easy go Yahoo! And poke those protons to stun that piece of functional scrap. So, here are 4 routes you can go from there. You can make a plunge team with Xianian. Just beware of when you use her ult, because you're going to need those jumps to reach those stars, although, in a pinch, you can use her skill, too. Just don't plunge at the final of the skill animation. Oh, for folklore's sake, actually try to go all Gia and make the cores reachable with Zhongli. Completing the Pursuit Providence will give you a 100% Gia TNG bonus, so it will give you an edge, since the time you activate the buff. Be careful not to use it as a dancer pole, or trying to make pillars over or under the boss, like, why Zhongli, why? Try to reach the top of the pillars with teleporting characters such as Keking, Alhaitham or Chiri. Didn't tested it though. Or, best option, do whatever with Kazuna. He has Shred, can be equipped with a Favonius sword, if you're struggling with rotations and his skill cooldown is 7 seconds at most. So you don't have to worry about timing as much. How the heck did I fall the mark here? And with that, you should be good and ready to beat some mechanical Raris. Or maybe not. You know, I actually have some few extra tips. You see, just like the Terror Shroom, if you hit the boss using Night Soul skills, the automaton will go into a laser frenzy and then expose it as golden cores quite earlier. Depends on who you using though. I tested it out with Kinich and it has like 30 seconds versus the 40 that it normally takes. Also coordinating the ultimates becomes trickier, since you don't have a clear indicative of when it's going to show its cores. And that goes without saying, and in this age of big numbers it's easier to forget, but you might want to prioritize frequency over big hits here. First because of that pesky resistance, and second, because you might want to fire harder when it's vulnerable, thus having to use bursts more often. Of course, crit ratio is still important, but watch your ER too. And maybe don't use your burst in, like, 3 seconds before enters charging mode. One more thing, and this is kinda more of a niche thing. If you are going Xiangling National just like I did, prioritize using Kezaboy's skill rather than trying to use Xiangling as an on-field DPS. I don't know why or how, maybe it's the shred, maybe Xiangling's crit rate is a bit low, or maybe I am not making enough vaporizes, but you will make more damage like that. And of course, depending on constellations builds and whatnot, you might be better off using some hypercarry. I am saying this because I had been crazy enough to pull Sinuo's signature weapon for Xiangling, and I really doubt you would go weapon hunting for a 4. And Furina SMP2, that kinda adds to the mix here. And food. Of course, you need food here. Go cook some Adepti Temptation. Hope I helped.